Hey everybody, this is Twister Man, the dark side of nature. And I just want to tell you guys that I want to share something really cool about 2015, that year that I got hit by a tornado in Round Lake Park. So it was exciting, but I'm glad that everybody was okay. And I was a teenager at that time. So I'm going to get into this, and it was cool of an experience to see it. Because heck, I never experienced a tornado before, and that was my first ever Twister to experience. And this was rated it was rated F1, and it was insane. It was awesome, and I just want to share this, so I'm going to get to it. So this was it had to be on August 5th, or it had to be on August 2nd. And what happened is that me and my dad were in the garage. We were playing Wii Sports. I don't know how old I was at the time when I was a teenager. It was a really interesting. It was pretty. It was something that I saw. And what happened was my phone got an alert. I couldn't hear it. It had no ring, but it said tornado warning in Round Lake Park, Illinois. So, and this was not the first time a tornado hit Round Lake. I remember back in the 2000s that Round Lake got hit by a tornado, and it said right in the news. I saw it. And what happened was me and my dad, we walked out of the garage, and what we saw was pretty amazing. This was a supercell, and this thing was so incredibly awesome. I mean, trust me, this was big, this was huge, it was like adrenaline rush excitement. And I don't know if everybody in Round Lake saw that, or by Libertyville or anything, but this was a huge storm. And it was so incredibly big, because this was it had like bubbly cloud appeared out of it, and it had like a massive mushroom cloud to it. And this was like growing, and this was like, I was like, Dad, look, and I was like, this was pretty cool. So what happened was we went inside. My dad had to lay down and rest. My mom was on the computer. And what happened, I was upstairs. Look, I was never bored of this. I never get bored over storms. I just love storms. And so this was, and what happened is that the tornado sirens were going. Everybody was going inside. I think I saw across my house that I think it was a man and their kids were running in the house, taking shelter, which is good. Me, on the other hand, I asked God. I was like, God, I want to see this. I want to see this. I was asking the Lord, I just want to see it. I 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 want to see what this looks like. God, show me this thing. And so what happened was, apparently he wanted me to go outside and want to see this. And so my dad said, Weston, be very careful. I said, okay, Dad, I'll be very careful. What I saw was so majestic and so incredible. The lightning everywhere was so vast. I never got struck. I mean, so God was there. He wanted me to be okay. And I was outside seeing all this. And so on this side of the garage, it was light of the sun. Here above my head, it was like dark. I mean, it was dark with lightning bolt flashes everywhere. It was like amazing. So cool. It was awesome. And guess what? Above my garage, where my house is, above the garage, of course, I don't know how you say it, I saw the F1 tornado swirling this way, and I jumped up in excitement. I was like, woohoo! There's a tornado! Like right there. It was like spinning. It was making its way this way. I was like excited. I had never seen something that up close before. I was like, wow. And I felt it too. Like God wanted me to see this giant, this monster, behemoth F1 tornado. And it went this way to Grays Lake. But I didn't know how long they were. You ever seen on YouTube videos that these tornadoes, they in the videos they don't look long, but holy cow, this was long. I didn't know how far out stretch they can go, and this was like incredible. So what really happened was my neighbors came home on the motorcycle. It was Crystal and I think it was Mike. I forgot what the guy's name was. It was I don't know his name. And out of the blue, my eyes were like this. What happened is that the tornado was trying to stretch itself, and it was touching down. It was trying to touch down, but it was a microburst because like when these tornadoes, when they try to form because of the updraft, a microburst kind of, you know what I mean. And I was like, wow, I thought it was like a battle of Armageddon was appearing. I was like, man, this is like a war or something. And it was so loud, so rumbling loud. And it was coming. And then what happened, I told them, get inside. I was running, but I wasn't afraid of it. I saw the debris. I saw, like, it was incredible. I was holding onto the railing. I was like, woohoo, yeah. It was so amazing to see that. And it was like, it was awesome to me. And my dad said, Weston, get inside. And I hugged my dad. I was like, Dad, I saw a tornado. And I was like, yeah, And I was trying to open up the door. My little guy, Hunter, my boy, and Mona, his mom, they were all just standing there, not even caring of the world. They were like, what the hell's going on? And the door kind of smacked the metal chairs. And I was like, wow, this thing was incredible. And what really happened was that this tornado hit the Grays Lake High School, I heard. And it really did the damage. And I was like, holy moly. I mean, this thing did it, And it hit the pizza place at Round Lake. And it was like, I was like, wow. And then after that, it was getting dark and there was a massive thunderstorm, and this thunderstorm was like lighting up, and I think there was a water spout in Lake Michigan, which I never get a chance to see, of course. So me and my dad got in the car and we kind of drove where the school was, and I think it's called Murphy, the school I used to go to. Trees, people's roofs were kind of, but I was so glad that everybody was okay. Nobody was killed. Nobody was hurt. Everybody was fine. Everybody was safe, And I'm just glad that, they're okay. One gentleman here in our store, he told me that when he saw that, he was in his yard and the big tornado kind of pushed him like to the wall. And I was like, jeez. Imagine a tornado would do that to me. I'll be like, wow, So this was, it was the aftermath it wasn't too bad, but everybody was out, branches, rooftops came off, but it was pretty incredible to experience that tornado. And I don't know if everybody in Round Lake Park or saw this, or Grays Lake, or experienced that tornado. Probably did. I just, and what happened was that how do you say it? I'm trying to figure out the word. That intrigued me to want to study tornadoes and to understand them is amazing, and want to go storm chasing and helping saving lives, which is something I want to do. And I just want to say that I never want people to be hurt by a tornado. I never want that. There's two things. I like the tornado's destruction of what it can do. That's what I see a tornado. How they can rip through things but not on people. I never want that. I want to help people. I want to save lives, and just want to make sure people are safe and sound. So that's my story of how I got hit by a tornado in 2015, and it was amazing when I saw it in the sky. It was like doing an updraft, but it couldn't make landfall because you got so many homes and all that stuff. But so that's my story of that. Comment, like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Comment what do you guys think about this. Never stop loving weather. Everybody starts everybody starts out of a passion somehow. I don't know how you say it, but you guys have a great day. Bye.